5 signs you're a secure woman. Hi, my name is Lindsay, and welcome to Poise, a space for confidence, presence, and moving through life with ease. There's a lot of talk online about confidence, but very little about security. Because confidence is loud, while security is quiet. Confidence announces itself, while security doesn't feel the need to. And the funny thing is, most women I know who are deeply secure don't actually think they are. They just live their lives, make their own choices, and move on. So today I wanted to talk about 5 signs you're a secure woman. Not because you're perfect, healed, or unbothered, but because you're grounded in who you are. And some of these might surprise you. Sign number 1, you're not in a rush to prove anything. One of the clearest signs of security is slowness. Secure women don't feel an internal pressure to over-explain themselves, rush their answers, justify their choices, or convince people they're doing well. They don't feel like life is an audition. You might notice it in conversation. They pause before responding. They don't jump in to fill silence, and they're comfortable letting things land where they may. And when someone misunderstands them, they don't immediately scramble to correct it because they trust that clarity doesn't need urgency. There's a calmness to someone who knows, I don't need to be understood by everyone to be valid. And that's security. Sign number 2, you can enjoy attention, but you don't need it. Now, this one is subtle, but important. A secure woman can receive attention, compliments, admiration without chasing it or clinging to it. She enjoys being noticed, sure, but her mood doesn't depend on it. If she walks into a room and no one reacts immediately, she doesn't spiral. If her phone is quiet, she doesn't take it personally. If she's not the center of attention, she doesn't shrink. And when she is admired, she doesn't perform gratitude like she's afraid it'll disappear. She just simply receives. There's a difference between wanting connection and needing validation, and secure women know that difference instinctively. They don't confuse being wanted with being worthy. Sign number 3, you don't feel the need to react to everything. One of the most underrated signs of security, restraint. Secure women don't respond to every comment. They don't clap back at every misunderstanding, and they don't take every opinion personally. And it's not because they're passive, but they're selective. They understand that not every comment deserves energy, not every moment needs a response, and certainly not every disagreement requires resolution. Sometimes the most secure response is silence. And silence, when chosen, not forced, is powerful. It says, I know who I am. This doesn't require my participation. And that kind of restraint doesn't come from apathy. It comes from inner stability. Sign number 4, you're comfortable being seen and not seen. Now, this one is big. A secure woman is comfortable in visibility and invisibility. She can be seen leading, speaking, and showing up fully. And she can also be unseen, resting, pulling back, moving silently. She doesn't feel like she's disappearing when she takes a step back either. And she doesn't fear being forgotten if she's not constantly present. She understands that presence isn't measured by frequency. Sometimes she's the loudest energy in the room, and sometimes she's observing from the corner. Both feel natural to her. Because her sense of self doesn't depend on being witnessed at all times. Sign number 5, you trust yourself, even when it's uncomfortable. This might be the strongest sign of all. Secure women trust themselves, their instinct, their timing, their no, their decision to walk away, and even their decision to stay, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it disappoints someone, even when it looks different than what others expect. They don't outsource their intuition. They listen inward first. And because of that, They move through life with a quiet steadiness even when things aren't certain. Security isn't the absence of fear, it is the willingness to move with yourself anyway. So let's reflect. Here's the part I want to leave you with. Security isn't something you suddenly arrive at. It's built slowly through choices, boundaries, and moments where you choose alignment over approval. You can be secure and still have doubts, secure and still want more, secure and still be figuring things out. Security isn't about being finished or perfect. It is about being rooted enough to keep going. If you recognize yourself in even one of these signs, take that as a confirmation, not something to prove, but something to honor. And if you didn't, that doesn't mean you're behind. It just means you're becoming, and maybe work towards one of these. If this conversation resonated with you, stay here. There's more to explore. Until next time, peace.